Did you know that it's impossible for most people to lick their own elbow? Try it. You might find this hard to believe, but the length of the human tongue and the distance from the elbow makes it a task that most of us can't accomplish. That's right, your tongue is not as long as you think. Speaking of tongues, did you know that a crocodile can't stick its tongue out? Unlike us, their tongues are attached to the roof of their mouths, so it doesn't move. This makes it impossible for them to stick it outside their narrow mouths. Now, isn't that something? And while we're on the topic of impossibilities, here's another fun fact. Pigs might be known for their keen sense of smell, but when it comes to looking up at the sky, they're at a complete loss. It's physically impossible for them to look straight up into the sky. The anatomy of their neck muscles and spine doesn't allow for this upward mobility. So don't expect a pig to enjoy stargazing anytime soon. But it's not all about what animals can't do. There are some fascinating things about our own bodies as well. For instance, did you know that, like fingerprints, everyone's tongue print is different? Yes, your tongue is not just a vital organ, but also carries a unique identity, much like your fingerprints. Medical researchers are even considering using tongue prints as a biometric authentication method. And before we wrap up, let's talk about something a little bit icky. You know how we all have unique tongue prints? Well, it turns out that our bodies also have a unique ecosystem of bacteria, especially in places like our ears. Wearing headphones for just an hour could increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times. It's a bustling metropolis in there. So next time you are about to stick your tongue out, remember it's as unique as your fingerprint. Have you ever sneezed so hard that you thought you might have fractured a rib? Well, it's possible. Yes, sneezing isn't just a simple body reflex. With a sneeze powerful enough, you could indeed fracture a rib. Sounds painful, doesn't it? But don't worry, such cases are quite rare, so no need to hold back that sneeze next time it comes around. Moving on from the explosive power of a sneeze, let's talk ears. Specifically, let's talk about what happens when you wear headphones for an hour. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? I do it all the time. Well, here's a curious fact. Wearing headphones for just an hour could increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times. Yes, 700. So don't forget to clean those earbuds regularly to keep your ears healthy and happy. Now, let's move from the slightly gross to the downright creepy. You know those peaceful nights of sleep where you drift off into dreamland, completely oblivious to the world around you? Well, during those nights, you might just be having some unexpected dinner guests. Over the course of an average lifetime, while you're sleeping, you might eat around 70 assorted insects and 10 spiders, or even more. Yes, you heard that right. While you're dreaming sweet dreams, you might be providing a feast for some tiny critters. But don't lose sleep over this. It's a natural part of life, and these little guys are more scared of you than you are of them. So there you have it, folks. From sneezing ribs to headphone bacteria and nighttime insect feasts, the human body and its interactions with the world around it are truly fascinating and sometimes a little bizarre. But that's what makes us so wonderfully unique. So embrace these curious health facts and remember, knowledge is power. Next time you go to sleep, you might just be setting the dinner table for some unexpected guests. Ever thought about what's in your lipstick? How about fish scales? Yes, you heard it right, fish scales. This might sound like a bizarre ingredient for a beauty product, but it's one of the things that gives lipstick its shimmer. It's an odd fact to digest, but it's one of many peculiar everyday realities that we often overlook. Speaking of odd realities, have you ever noticed how cat urine glows under a black light? It's one of nature's more curious phenomena. This is due to the presence of phosphorus in the urine, which glows when exposed to ultraviolet light. It's a peculiar fact that might come in handy when trying to locate a feline's accident spots around the house. Now let's move from feline peculiarities to something more mundane but equally bizarre: rubber bands. Would you believe that rubber bands last longer when refrigerated? The cold temperature slows down the process of oxidation, preventing the rubber from drying out and losing its elasticity. So, if you've got a stash of rubber bands you want to keep in prime condition, you might want to move them from your desk drawer to the refrigerator. And finally, let's talk about money. Specifically, a dollar. Did you know there are 293 ways to make change for a dollar? Considering all the combination of coins that equal $1, it's a mathematical wonder that often goes unnoticed in our daily transactions. It's a fun fact that might just spark your interest in the fascinating world of numbers. So, the next time you reach for your lipstick or a rubber band, remember these odd facts. And who knows, you might just impress someone with your knowledge about making change for $1. From the ingredients in our cosmetics to the longevity of everyday objects, the world is full of peculiar facts that make our everyday lives a little more intriguing. So, keep looking, keep questioning, and keep discovering. After all, there's always something fascinating to learn.